So we left the car and good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Unplugged TV. Sunny Australia. We left the car with 47% last night and I plugged it in, or it turned on at about 6 o'clock this morning. So it could charge only for 4 hours or so, but I just saw that the battery is only 70% full or so. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, 75%. I've got a customer appointment right now. It's not too far away from here. And I have planned to take you with me because I want to go to the university afterwards and show you something. We've got only 34 kilometers predicted range, 28 here. I was really hoping to get about 85-90% this morning, but obviously I made the wrong calculation again, as always. Okay, so we arrived here at the customer's place with 62%. So basically I need to do 75, so 14%, another 14% to go back, and then maybe another. Should be fine. It should be fine. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back on the road with 61% state of charge, and let's go. Whoopsie! Let's go for the. Let's go to the University of Queensland, Gatton Campus. I'll take the highway. They're building a new service station here. At least I've got solar panels on top of the roof now. Okay, intersection highway. This one is a 100 kilometer highway speed here, intersection, and it's just a crossing on the road, on the highway itself. You have to watch carefully, and there are cars coming and everything. Fairly dangerous. I think it's one of the black spots here in this area where crashes are happening frequently, because it's just a crossing and there's no speed limit for the oncoming traffic in both directions, and they're all coming with 100 kilometers an hour towards this intersection, and people just don't pay attention and accidents happen. Not good. Oh yeah, coasting on the highway. So we've got 43% state of charge in the battery, and we are almost there. It's only a couple of kilometers until the university, and I've got 10 kilometers on the gasometer here, so totally safe. Battery is amazing. And they actually put up a sign here for the electric car charger now on the left here. Here's another one. Turn left. Come on. 31. It turned red. All good. Okay, so we have arrived with 36.6% state of charge here. 5 kilometers left, no problem. The battery is quite strong. Okay, let's plug in. Okay, we've got 244 volts, 14.2 amps and 3.46 kilowatts now charging. And I just wanted to show you this new setup, what they have done here. They actually installed a 15 amp power point here, as you can see over here, coming from the Tesla destination charger. This sign says you can only use one of them. I could have charged with a Tesla charger here as well with my Tesla adapter. If you haven't seen the other video, this is how the Tesla adapter works. So this end plugs into the Tesla port over there, and then we've got a 15 amp Australian outlet here where I can plug in my EVSE and charge in the same speed as if I would plug in over there. And of course we've got the VFill DC fast charging station here as well, like the CHAdeMO port, which I don't have on my PHEV, otherwise I could just use that. And we've got the CCS Type 2. As you can see, the cables are relatively short, so this is probably the max you can extract it. The cables are stupidly short. Another 2 or 3 meters of cable here on each side wouldn't harm. Yeah, I'm not going to fully charge the car here, of course, because it will take about 2 or 3 hours now. I just want to show you this setup with this power point down here, because this is a new installation they did just a couple of months ago, because the DC fast charger options are failing sometimes and the charger is not working and people got stranded here. You probably remember this video I did a while back when we rescued the little Mitsubishi i-MiEV from this station here. There was a guy who was looking after all these DC fast charging networks here in this area, and he was driving with his i-MiEV from station to station to check out if they are all working and if you can travel in between these stations. And he got stranded here because this baby didn't work. And he found my home charger on PlugShare and gave me a call and said, look, I'm stranded here, I can't charge. The CHAdeMO is not working and there's no other possibility to charge up the i-MiEV. Can you help me? And I said, yeah, of course, I've got the Tesla adapter in my car. I'll be there in about 1 or 2 hours, and we plug into the Tesla and you charge from there. So we did. We used the Tesla destination charger and the adapter cable, plugged him in, charged him up to a state of charge where he could make it easily to my place, and then we charged his car overnight at my place. I linked this video at the end of this video here. Yeah, and because these stations sometimes do not work, as we all know, they have installed this 15 amp power point there, universal, so you should always have an emergency charging cable in your electric vehicle to enable a charge from a normal power point. At least you get some kind of at least if the DC fast charger is not working, you get some kind of juice here to get you moving. You will lose a lot of time, of course, but at least it gets you going. And 15 amp is better than 0 amp, right? 3.5 kilowatts. And all this power for these stations, it's coming from a big solar array. They've got a 3.5 megawatt solar system installed a little bit further down here. So this is 100% renewable energy here from these stations. Pretty good. And of course they are free to use, at least at the moment. I think the Teslas will always be anyway, but these ones are free to use at the moment. Pretty good service. So, and as you can see, it will take 3 hours to charge the car to full, to 100% here. It's a fairly slow charge on 15 amp, but as I said, better than nothing. And we just can check the dog here in safe mode. We've already charged 1.2 ampere hours into the car, back to almost 40%. Pretty good. 2.5 hours it says here on the dog. I've just posted this video this morning about the deadline as set Mitsubishi to get this car fixed here. And I'm reading through your comments. There are only 2 or 3 comments on there at the moment. So someone said, I don't think they have a solution for this, Andy. I think the issue with the car is bigger than we think. That's why Japan is silent. And Jeff from EV Unplugged, it's called EV Unplugged, Gary, said, I agree, this problem is huge. Japan would rather install new batteries than admit they can't fix it. This is a huge problem. But they also realize that most of the people that bought or leased have no knowledge what Andy is talking about. There are a few vocal people discussing the issue, but not a lot, when compared to worldwide sales. In Canada, the warranty doesn't cover degradation at all. I bet that all future warranties in every country will be the same as in Canada. Japan has moved on to whatever is next for them and are not interested in the relatively new complainers out here. Sad situation in my opinion. This will put a stain on them, but just like the Volkswagen diesel fiasco, they will move on as if it never happened. And Jeff, thank you for this comment. This exactly sums the whole situation up very nicely. This is exactly what I am talking about for the last 2 or 3 videos, complaining and ranting about they just don't care. And we see the same phenomenon worldwide in every country now. Wherever people are approaching their dealerships, wherever they are approaching Mitsubishi directly, nothing happens. And Andre from the US says, simply Mitsubishi is not built the BMWs. They get it from a third-party vendor, and there's a problem who is responsible for fixing it. I, as a customer, should not care where they get the parts from. It's up to Mitsubishi. They are responsible for it, 110% responsible. So yeah, I agree. Of course, there are third-party vendors involved in delivering parts for the PHEV, but this should not be our concern as a consumer. So I'll make Mitsubishi responsible. I have a contract with Mitsubishi. I'll make them responsible to get this fixed as per our Australian consumer law. So we've got 8 kilometers on the gasometer here on the dog already, and we are 41% state of charge. So charges nicely on 15 amp, fully solar powered here. But guys, this is not the reason I was driving over here. I just wanted to show you the charging situation here, the new upgraded charging situation. And I think they should install these power points everywhere, in every charger. Because if the charger is not working, a 15 amp power point is better than a 0 amp power point. Especially here in Australia, with not many public charging systems out there. And this brings me to the next topic. You have seen the end of video 212 it was, I think. Yes, we did a test drive in the Hyundai Ioniq full electric vehicle. That was last Thursday, so a week ago. And it was great. I really enjoyed. It's a very nice car. The build quality is... Where is this? I thought it smells like melted plastic or so, but it's something else. It's not coming from the charger or the car, I hope. I need to watch out for smoke. So yeah, we test drove the Hyundai Ioniq Electric last week. Very nice car. The interior is a lot of buttons. It's not like the Tesla Model 3 with no buttons at all. This one has a lot of buttons, which I personally don't like too much, but this is not something which puts me off the car or so. It's just more, I like the minimalistic design in the Tesla Model 3 more than such a car. But on the other hand, the Tesla Model 3 is out of reach for me from a time perspective and from a financial perspective. The standard version won't be available here for quite some time. I think it will take another 1.5 years at least until we see the standard version here. At the moment you cannot buy the standard version anywhere, not even in the US. At least another 1.5 years, end of 2020 if we are lucky, I would say. Then with all the exchange rates and import taxes and GSTs and all this kind of on-road costs you have with this car, it will be likely close to 70,000 Australian dollars for the standard base model in black, aero wheels, no additional extras, no self-driving capability, nothing. Really the cheapest Tesla you can buy. close to $70,000 here in Australia. And yeah, this is a bit over my budget. I probably don't want to spend 70 grand for a car. So of course we were looking for alternatives, and as you may know, here in Australia there are not many. We've got the Nissan Leaf, which I personally don't like too much because of the missing thermal protection of the battery. I can only imagine what the battery goes through when I park the car in the sun for 10 hours, and we've got like 60 degrees inside the car and probably 45 inside the battery already just while parking. So this can only end up in a total degradation nightmare. Then we've got the BMW i3 full electric car, or with the range extender, 2-cylinder motor at the back. The car is nice. The car would suit me from the size and from the range and everything, but this is $75,000 plus. I have looked up online if I can get them as used cars. There are a couple of them available here in Australia, but they are starting at $45,000-$50,000 for a 2014 model, which is 5 years old and has the old small battery in it. And I said, well, if I spend that much money, I don't want to spend it on a 5-year-old car with older technology. And then last year the Hyundai Ioniq Electric came out here in Australia, and I really didn't look at it because I said, okay, it has only 126 miles, like 200 kilometers range or something. So I said, better waiting for the Hyundai Kona with 500 kilometers range, which came out in January here in Australia. Yeah, same as the Model 3, out of range. Totally out of range. This is $70,000 for a small crossover car. Unbelievable expensive. And to be honest, I don't need 450-500 kilometers of range, even not here in Australia. You know my commute, this is only 15 kilometers, and we've got the charging station here, and we're going to Brisbane or going to Toowoomba the other way, which is a 70 kilometer drive each way, and I don't really need 500 kilometers. And just for the purpose of going on a holiday once or twice a year, I'm not buying a car for this purpose. I was hoping a little bit about the Kona, but it's just far too expensive, I think. And they don't offer the 39 kilowatt version here in Australia for some reason. It's only for a 64 kilowatt hour battery version. So gone. Hyundai Ioniq Electric, 250 kilometer range, potentially more. Test drive was good. I didn't film anything too much about it. Did a test drive over there, almost bought it. It's a $50,000 car. Still a $50,000 car. They give you a little bit of rebate because this was a demonstrator model. It had already done 97 kilometers on the odometer. So they charged it only once since they got the car new, basically. I showed the lady a lot of features inside the display because I did my homework before, of course. Watched a lot of YouTube videos about the Kona. So I knew about the infotainment system and the navigator and the charging and EV parameter settings, whatever. So I showed the lady of the dealership a couple of features, and she was impressed that I obviously knew a lot of things more than she did. So I left her with my email address and said, if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. So we negotiated a price that came down a little bit because it was a demonstrator, but not much. It's not like for a new car you can always negotiate about 10%, maybe 15% if you're really good in your dealing with the dealers. You know, you can always push the price down a little bit, but with these cars just don't. And she said, oh, there's such a high demand, I can possibly sell this car this afternoon to another person. And I said, yeah, that's what people say all the time. That's a dealer, you know. You don't want to sell something, want your signature right now on your credit card. But I posted this question on the Hyundai Ioniq and Kona forum here in Australia that day and said, look, I did the test drive and talked to the dealer, and they wouldn't do a great deal for the demo. And people across Australia responded and said, look, totally normal. The demand is really high. None of the dealers in Australia give you a discount. You usually pay the full price, which is on the website. So there's no discount for a new car. You were lucky to get a little bit of discount for a demonstrator. Well, to sum this all up, I didn't buy it yet because I still have the PHEV here, and we have to negotiate things with Mitsubishi first. So I have to wait for Mitsubishi to come back to me next week and let me know which direction they want to go. I want a direction, I want a fix, I want a workaround, I want to have this car fixed somehow. And if they cannot do it themselves, they need to push Japan even harder to make something working. From these comments you put on my last video about the deadline, I can read in between the lines you've got little faith that something will happen. But from my perspective, from a pure consumer customer perspective, it's such a bad experience. This will be definitely my first and last Mitsubishi from the whole customer experience. If they are not stepping up the game dramatically in the next couple of days, weeks to come, this will be it. This will be definitely it. I don't want to make another 250 videos about the PHEV and showing you the PHEV Watchdog with the further decreasing state of health every couple of days, weeks, months, whatever it will be. I want to move forward to get this all fixed. I want to make positive videos. I want to make road trip videos with you guys, you know. Want to show how good the car drives, how well it performs on battery and hybrid mode and all this kind of stuff, you know. But with all these problems occurring constantly and for a long time now, I'm really over it. I'm really over it. Well, I could just repeat the last 200 videos maybe. I mean, they are not all negative. There are positive videos in there where I show how efficient the car runs, and we've done a lot of testing with the car and all this, testing all the systems and charging efficiencies and losses and all this. You know, pretty much everything is tested in the car now. So, but yeah, we need to move forward from this situation, from this position now. And I'm keen to hear what Mitsubishi has to tell me next week. So I just checked into the charger here at the UQ, and I wanted to see if the actual quick charge GCS station is a CCS1 or CCS2, but as we have seen, it is a CCS2, not the CCS1 as shown here. I think it was a Type 1 CCS charger before, but they have changed the plugs. I don't even know which car has the CCS1 charger. Was this the old BMW i3? Did they still have the CCS1 charger? I'm not sure. But as you can see, everything is up to date. So we've got the CCS combo, the wall, which I'm using at the moment, the Tesla destination charger, and the CHAdeMO. And there we go. We've got one here. All stations broken. Tried unsuccessfully to reboot. That's where the wall outlet comes in handy, because the wall outlet should work at any point of time as an emergency charging possibility. So yeah guys, to sum this all up, the Hyundai Ioniq Electric would suit our needs totally. With a 250 kilometer range, I can possibly squeeze another 30-40 kilometers out of the car, because I know how to drive on B0, and this car has actually similar pedals to adjust the regen force in the car. And it is highly efficient. It is one of the most efficient cars. It has the same drag coefficient as the Tesla Model S. So anyway, I played around for a week now with PlugShare, with a betterrouteplanner.com, which is a route planner for electric vehicles. If you haven't checked this out, have a look. It's not like you need to have a 400 kilometer range here in Australia. Even with a 200 to 250 kilometers range, you will be totally fine. As long as you stay along the coastline, the main highways are, and this is where the fast chargers are sitting. So even with our planned holiday trip in December back up to Agnes Water again, which is a 600-kilometer trip from our place, we have to charge twice in between for about 40 minutes all in total, because the Ioniq actually has a super high charging rate. It can charge up to 70 kilowatt, and a full charge to 94% on a DC fast charger takes only about 20-25 minutes. And yep, so far even these longer trips are no problem here in Australia with the existing fast charging network we have. And it can only get better from here, right? Okay guys, so far this long video from today. I just want to give you a little update what's going on, what we have planned, and what the situation with the charger here at the university is. I have charged up to 13 kilometers now, so which gets me home again. We are at almost 50% state of charge. I will unplug now and then we go home and recharge the car fully overnight for tomorrow's drive to work. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for your support. This is Andy from Unplugged TV Australia signing off. You stay charged and we will see us in the next video. Okay, see you then, bye bye.